everyone. This is Archive of 12, and today we are continuing the Mandela Catalogue. This is the Mandela Catalogue Volume 1 Restored Edition. I have no idea if there was an original Volume 1. I have no idea, like, what this means, honestly. We watched Overthrown, and I'll link that one in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, because that is technically the first episode in the Mandela Catalogue, like, playlist that is on the official channel. I believe this is the official channel. So, yeah, I'm just continuing on down the list. So, I'm sorry if it's out of order or whatever. I'm going off of what the order is in this playlist. I was told that Overthrown is supposed to be the first one, and now we are on Catalog Volume 1. This is going to be a longer form video because of the fact that this is a 17-minute and 30-second video. So expect this this reaction to be minimum 24 minutes, so buckle up. That leads me into my normal little spiel. The link will be in the description below, but I imagine that most people have already seen the Mandela Catalogue or whatnot, because this came out 2 years ago, and the Mandela Catalogue has been a long-standing creepypasta. So it's definitely older than 2 years for sure. So I think the restored edition must have been like them re-uploading this because the original version like died or something. I don't know. But also down below is a link to my Patreon, where you'll find longer form reaction videos similar to this video here, because of the fact that most of the videos that I react over on Patreon are like 20 plus minutes long because they're anime episodes or whatnot. So if this type of video, this longer form type, uncut and unedited, is something that you're interested in, my Patreon's got stuff over there for anime and various TV shows. Right now, the only TV show is Skeleton Crew, and I still need to finish that. But Andor Season 2 is coming out, and I'm planning on reacting to that as well. So, yeah. Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I guess there's nothing else to say, because, like I said, most people know the Mandela Catalogue, and I only know it peripherally. I only know it really from a couple nerdcore songs and from the first episode. So let's jump into this. Without further ado, we're getting started. Already with the weird stuff. Already with the weird stuff. Temporal phenomena. Okay.
We are currently receiving countless reports regarding unidentified hostile organisms that we will refer to as alternates. Until we have a complete understanding of the threat, it is important to stay home, lock all doors and windows, and have access to a loaded firearm or other ranged weapon at all times.
Well, we're in America, so that shouldn't be too difficult, honestly. For better or worse.
You will know if an alternate exists based solely on their physical characteristics. If you see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide. If you see a person with any sort of biologically impossible characteristic, run away and hide. If an alternate manages to enter your home, refrain from any kind of communication or contact. These intelligent life forms utilize elements of psychological warfare to take advantage of their victims. While we heavily discourage any kind of contact or communication with an alternate, we make excuses for attempts at executing them yourself.
I like the fact that that felt like one of those like Fallout PSAs that they have plastered all over certain things in like the Fallout universe. Obviously that isn't the case here. We're talking about like angels and demons and aliens. I think someone mentioned at some point, I forget if it was on a comment or if someone like told me because I told them I was watching the Mandela Catalogue. I forget if someone mentioned this, but I was told that like the Mandela Catalogue is supposed to be what happened if like Samael's rebellion against God won, and he wasn't sent to hell. Like this is like an alternate timeline where like essentially Lucifer ended up like overthrowing God, which explains the whole thing of the first episode, honestly, where overthrown, where it's Lucifer, not God, who's looking down on humanity and kind of like rewriting history that we know or something along those lines. Like I can understand where the first episode's coming from at that point. And if that's the case, that means that like these individuals that you're saying you need to defend yourself from, like those are angels or demons or both or a combination of them. Who knows what would happen if Samael actually like managed to beat God? I don't know. But just an interesting little tidbit that kind of sort of explains certain things about this this series. This part definitely feels like the Fallout PSAs, though. Okay. I recognize that guy because I remember he hit that picture showing up in one of the Mandela Catalogue songs that I reacted to a while ago. Markeith. That name sounds familiar. Markeith Cliff. I think that may have popped up in one of the songs too.
Hey, it's Caesar. I hope it's not too late.
No, it's fine, don't worry. What's up, are you alright?
Yeah, it's not me, it's my mom. She's knocked out cold and I have no idea why. I'm on my way to the ER, but could you do me a favor?
Yeah, of course. What is it?
I just need you to come over and turn on the cameras we have set up. You know the ones that we installed after we were robbed?
Oh, yeah. Mind if I ask why?
Well, she screamed really loud right before I found her on the ground. I just...
Well, do you have your doors and windows locked? What the broadcast told us it is?
Yeah, that's the weird part. Maybe she saw something? I don't know.
Curious. That's the weird part? Like the fact that the doors and windows are locked, that's the weird part? Like you're following government protocol, right? Right? That seems like a logical thing to ask if you're under orders from the government to protect yourself from potential extraterrestrials. These dystopian style timelines always are interesting to me. It's an exercise in psychology, you know? It's an exercise in how the human mind takes orders from authority figures. Because there are often times you'll see this kind of stuff pop up and it's like you start questioning it yourself because you don't live in that reality. So you're wondering why is that like a thing that you'd have to worry about? And then you have to remember they are under a completely different duress than we are. There's a large number of things that I could say about that because I've analyzed and overanalyzed that same situation for a variety in differing contexts before. But I'm not gonna waste time here. If you guys want me to talk about it, I can actually make a separate video talking about it. But like for the basis of context, when you don't live under the same conditions that the people that you're watching or listening to live under, you don't fully understand or grasp, even if you think you do. And this goes for myself as well. Even if you think you do, you don't understand or grasp like how that world changes their mentality. Case in point, if you live in an anime where like there are demons and monsters and whatnot that regularly hunt humanity, and death happens to be a normal thing, psychologically speaking, you're not going to react to death the same way that we in the real world would react to it, because we don't have monsters and demons and dangerous animals hunting us on a regular basis. So the likelihood of us dying from that is significantly less. And so therefore, our psychology is different from the anime characters. People talk about how like the anime characters get over their psychological trauma too quickly. No, not necessarily. They are conditioned by their world to do so. Because they understand in a better aspect than we do that is something that can just happen, that you can probably fall victim to something. Something like this, where like you're questioning why these characters are having to do this stuff. It's the same thing. Like, we don't understand what they have to go through because we don't live in that timeline. We don't have that same level of threat. We have our own threats and we respond to those accordingly, and they would respond to those threats differently than we would, and they would seem really weird for responding to them in that way. But for us, we don't have to worry about those things. And so like I have to mentally check myself. Like, to me, it makes sense that in their world they would have to lock their doors and windows because they're being accosted by aliens or demons or angels or whatever they are. So that question seems like a normal question to me. And the response from CT, that's the weird part, feels out of context. That feels out of character. That feels like out of the norm for that dimension. Does that make sense?
Alright, shouldn't be too bad. I'm just gonna switch them on and get out of there, though. You know how I feel about your house.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's fine. One last thing. Try to get a good view of the back hallway, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Again, that's a weird thing to say. Why specifically the back hallway? Also, what's wrong with the house? Like why does Mark Heathfield not like CT's house? Like, what's going on with that? There's a story there.
Alright, I gotta go. I'm almost at the hospital. Thank you.
Maybe we get to see closed circuit television footage. Okay. Maybe we get to see what's wrong with the back hallway. Is that the back hallway there? Oh, I don't like this. This is making me uncomfortable. This grainy ass, like black and white footage. I'm gonna have to buckle up because this is just asking for a jump scare. That must be Mark Heathfield running away. Motion detection save. Okay. Yep. Okay, that was the back hallway. Don't like the basement stairs. Let's not do that one. Of all the ones that's gonna freak me the hell out, it's gonna be the basement stairs. Oh. Hello? I don't like the hallway either. No. The door's open now?
Where you go,
Hell no. Hell no. Nope. 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 This is why you guys wanted me to react to this. This is why. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. You guys have my best interest in mind. I appreciate this. I don't have a strong constitution for this kind of bullshit. I don't react to this kind of stuff on a normal basis. I've only reacted to one, like, really creepy thing, and that was on the behest of Arc Delta 73. He requested that I react to, like, a documentary series about someone whose apartment was haunted or something like that. And, like, I got some weird vibes from that, but I also go in as a skeptic. I believe that there is such a thing as ghosts. I believe that there is haunting. I don't believe that some of the evidence that is presented is actual truthful evidence, because I think some people stage this crap. Obviously, this is stage. I get that. But I can't even begin to tell you how, like, how the hairs are standing up on the back of my neck. Like, I am anticipating something to happen, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Now the living room's completely dark. Oh, I'm gonna just hold my little guy here. I have him on my desk. Now everything's dark. I don't like this. I'm really... Was that it? Okay. I was expecting a face to just, like, pop out of the side, just going, like... Or something like that. And I'm not for that, okay? I'm not for that at all. I'm just gonna keep holding my little guy here because he's comforting me. Help me. Is that from Mark? Did something follow Mark home from Caesar's house? Is that why Caesar and his house, like, make Mark uncomfortable? Is it's haunted and now something's, like, followed him home? Camcorder.
I have a gift for you. I have a present. I have a surprise. Your little sister is so asleep.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
I can't tell what it's saying.
Where'd you go, Mark?
I understood at that time. Where'd you go, Mark? Nope! Nope, 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 nope. Nope, take your creepy ass eyes out of here. Go away.
You fucking bastard!
Bad decision, Mark. Uh-oh. No! No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Get it off my screen. Get it off my screen. Ugh. I'm afraid I'm gonna like squeeze the life of my little fox buddy. But you see, you know what? Hold on a second. I need something that's a little bit more comforting. Give me one moment. I had to get Toby the penguin. I needed something that I was capable of squeezing that is not going to like be squeezed into oblivion if I get scared. Also, case in point, when it comes to like me believing in ghosts, I firmly believe that my house is actually haunted, and we call the ghost Delilah. I don't know what her name actually is, but supposedly she's an elderly lady that just kind of chills out. Doesn't like spook us or anything, but um I don't like her messing with my door, so like I have to close my door. There was one time where like my door actually popped open while I was recording, and I saw movement out of the corner of my eye, and I looked, and then there was just a shadow that walked away, and I was alone in the house at the time. I think it was on my Divide Music reaction to one of his songs recently. But yeah, no, like I said, I firmly believe in ghosts. I firmly believe in hauntings. Obviously, this is not ghosts. These are like aliens and demons and angels and shit. But I firmly believe in that stuff. I just don't believe in the evidence that a lot of people post and provide because I know that like it's very easy to fake that stuff. Also, yes, I have a lot of plushies. I have even more plushies than you guys even can begin to calculate to know. Since you can see them on my display case and you just saw my little fox friend and now you see Toby. So, getting back to this, I am thoroughly spooked. We're not even halfway, we're just a little over halfway.
A situation may occur where the local 911 dispatchers run out of operators to handle calls, so they are given to the police department instead. When police attention is needed, send available personnel to the address provided by the caller. When there is a fire-related emergency, contact the neighboring fire department with the provided address, along with a brief description of the event.
All this sounds normal. I'm sure it's about to pick up in the not so normal category.
When the caller has a medical-related emergency, immediately contact the Mandela Community Hospital, where their reception will take control of the line.
There we go. This is new. This is not normal. Oh. Oh. As I said, different universe, different reality, different methods of dealing with certain things. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that kind of thing, but I understand where that mentality might spring from. Like, I can see where that potentially could have been something that they had to institute when you're suffering an invasion of the extraterrestrial kind.
We thank you for taking the time to learn by viewing the
Mad cases?
Metaphysical awareness disorder is a severe mental illness that has seen a sudden return in recent months. MAD is the result of exposure to verbal information that is not desired to be known. The rate of death by suicide in patients diagnosed with MAD is 97%. But don't worry, the remaining 3% makes it worth trying to reverse the delusion. Avoiding development of MAD is the first.
I feel like that statement right there kind of falls under MAD, doesn't it? Because we didn't want to know that information. That was not information that was desired to be known. And yet it was told to us anyway. So I feel like you just contributed to this situation that is like 95% increased with a 97% rate of what they just talked about. I'm not going to say it because, I feel like it doesn't need to be said anymore. Feel like there may have needed to be some kind of like trigger warning or something like that for that particular thing, but regardless, yeah, I feel like you just contributed to that.
Step to being safe. It is recommended to avoid excessively frequent religious practice, as well as any belief in unnecessary philosophical implications. Always remember that looking after your friends, family, and loved ones is a key factor for maintaining mental stability.
Yeah, that's true even in today's standards. Especially in today's standards. Oh, why do I get the feeling this is going to stress me out? I don't know how precisely to react to this. I do know that this probably is not a certified scientific method of testing anything. But again, I have to remind myself, we are dealing with a dimension where things have gone topsy-turvy. And their method of going through these things would have had to have been created through literally all of human history being affected from the point where Samael and his rebellion took over from God. So like the entirety of human history has a completely different connotation and association with this kind of thing. And I have to keep reminding myself that, like, just because I don't believe that this is probably something that needs to be done doesn't mean in their dimension they view it the same way. They obviously view it as a very important thing because it's happening on a regular-ish basis. So I have to keep reminding myself of that. I feel like most toddlers wouldn't be able to handle this. Oh, I'm not gonna like this at all. Why did you guys ask me to react to this? I have a bad feeling. You know, also, I have to wonder, would things like Nosferatu or whatnot, would that be something that this dimension would have actually developed? Like, obviously, the idea, I'm going a little bit more like film theory-ish here. Specifically, I mean, I'm wearing the game theory slash the theorists merch right now from like I think their first or second run of merch. But so this kind of feels like on point. But like anyway, my thinking right now is this. If you even suspected that things were as dangerous as they were, obviously they wouldn't know what our timeline looks like, right? They wouldn't have any context or anything to tell them that, oh yeah, no, they the idea that like Lucifer could have overthrown God, like that the idea of that, like that's absurd. That's what our timeline would say. For them, that's the truth. Because that happened, their timeline should have evolved radically differently from ours. Things like Nosferatu would be too close to the truth, I would think. And things like the concept of religion, like Christianity and stuff like that, like if they tried to preach it the way that it's preached here, like I don't know, there'd have to be like some sort of like subversion of that for things to have progressed to this point. Because as of considering that this thing seems to be set in 1992, to get to the point of AD 1992 and to have had everything play out close enough to the same way that it played out in our timeline, that things, you know, like media like Nosferatu came out. But at the same time, you also are accosted by extraterrestrials that are capable of creating facsimiles of people that you knew or facsimiles of yourself, which causes the entire government to go into lockdown protocol and institute kind of like almost borderline V for Vendetta levels of policies to control and protect, or yes, protect or potentially protect. I don't know. After that phone call about pretend that help is on the way if someone calls your 911 dispatch and they're having a home invasion, and do not send anybody over there because of the fact that there is a very real chance that they are being attacked by aliens or angels or demons or something like that. Like this whole idea, this whole universe has progressed in a way that feels so different yet so similar. It's difficult for me to wrap my head around. Like the Mandela Catalogue seems to have a very unique way of portraying stuff from our universe, but things are just a little bit off. And I think that's the point. But I'm just thinking, like, in the grand scope of human history, there would have been signs leading up to this. There's a reason why they would have these like these tests for infants to see whether or not they react to them in a specific way. They'd be a test, or there's a reason why there are informational, instructional videos for like police officers or dispatches or just the normal citizen to act or react in specific ways to certain circumstances. Like there's a reason that these things were created. So to some extent, they know something's off. They know something is like not here in the same way that it should be. Like something has transgressed. The only way I can think of it is that Lucifer, after dethroning God, managed to essentially run things exactly the same way that God did for our timeline, if you believe in God. But he was a little more lax about things like angels and demons coming into our world. Whereas if you think that God basically has prevented that, like he and his archangels and whatnot prevent these other mythical beings from being able to interfere with humanity, if in this timeline Lucifer won, then Lucifer hasn't prevented that. And maybe that's where the thing is. It evolved just enough that it's similar, but it's different enough because of these incursions that it causes like stuff like these policies and these methodologies to have spawned. Maybe I'm looking into it a little too much, and perhaps I'm not wording it correctly, but like that's what's running through my brain as I'm watching this and waiting for the next jump scare. I'm like seriously terrified. I'm hugging I'm hugging poor Toby really tight. If he was an actual penguin, I'd probably be choking him right now. My anxiety is spiked.
Tomorrow, Mr. Havisham will take you to your grandfather, and you will live with him at the castle. But I shall not go with you.
Okay, that's interesting. That's like the evidence stuff, but it's on the child's drawing. Are they saving the best for last? Of course, this is only gonna get worse. Like there's like so many more videos in this playlist. Interesting choice. You mean like the intruder thing? That was unexpected and very unsettling. Oh, hold on. That's that is the next episode, which we are not going to get to here because that last one was 17 and a half minutes long. Okay. You guys apparently really want to like freak me out. I am not looking forward to going through all of these. I am, but I'm not. I'm curious. My curiosity is piqued, but my anxiety has also spiked. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. So cool. Anything for you guys. Almost anything. I'm not going to be playing like any gory games or anything like that. I have my sanity to protect, okay? But anyway, yeah, no, I feel like I need to go lie down a little bit and just calm down. So thank you for that. I hope this is entertaining. I can't wait to see more. But also, I can. This is gonna get weirder. I can just sense it. I can taste it. I can taste that this is only the beginning. I mean, how many of these? There's 18 videos, and some of them range 2 minutes all the way up to like 26 minutes, 33 minutes. That one's gonna be volume 5 is gonna be long. Okay, we'll get to that at some point. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you for joining me. This was Arc Alpha 12. And I will see you in the next video.